Weekly planning does not have to be time-consuming, stressful, or boring. In this video, I will share my step-by-step process to help you plan and schedule your week in less than 20 minutes. Hi, my name is Niamh and I'm delighted to be here today to talk to you about weekly planning. This is a process that I use every week to plan what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do, and I'm going to share the 5 steps that I follow. This takes 15 to 20 minutes max, and that's on a complicated week. And by the end of it, you'll have the framework for a more productive, outcome-focused week. Before we get into it, I'm going to be suggesting some variations or ways you can tailor this process to suit your personal situation. So I'd love to know if any of those are helpful for you. Please let me know in the comments. And also, this is not project planning. This is the tactical weekly plan, which would be different from creating a plan for a particular goal or project that you might work on over multiple weeks or months. And I can cover that in a different video, but this week we're talking about the week itself. Let's get into it. The first thing you want to do when planning your week is to take a look at the different areas of your work, your job, or your life overall to identify what you need to focus on, because not everything needs the same level of effort every single week. All I do for this is I grab a piece of paper, I draw a circle and I divide it into 8 parts, and then fill in each segment with an area of my job or responsibilities. So for example, if you work in sales, this might look like a section for business development, a section for following up with existing leads, a section for internal meetings, a section for admin. You get the hint. And you might not have all 8 segments complete. That's absolutely fine. That's just give you the space. Again, another example, if you're in project management, you could have a segment for each project you're working on and general work you have to do. If you're a business owner or a solopreneur, this will look like having a segment for finance, sales, marketing, product development, customer service, administration, those kind of things. And honestly, when I do this, I also include parts of my life. So I'll have a segment for family and friends, a segment for home stuff, and other things that are important to me. And this gives a bird's eye view of the week. And then once you have all that in place, you can put a little star or mark any of the areas that you want to work on in the week ahead and jot down why you want to focus on that area and what you need to do. Now, once you've done that, the next step is to identify your outcomes for the week. So this is you imagining at the end of the week what success will have looked like. And again, it'll depend on the areas that you have starred or marked on your big wheel. I like to pick 3 outcomes or 3 goals for the week, and I put them on the top of a page. And then below each of them, identify the 2 to 3 tasks I must do in order to achieve those outcomes. Now, there's lots of things that you could do, but there's usually just 2 or 3 elements that are the most important. Let me use this video as an example. So my outcome for the week is to have this video recorded, edited, and published. And there is loads I could do. Really now, there is loads. I could organize my backdrop. I could write a script. I could create supporting graphics. I could change my lighting. I could try and get a new microphone. I could take a look at what I'm wearing and how I'm styled. Then I could do extra research. I mean, the list goes on. And by the way, we haven't even hit record yet, not to mind all the stuff I could do in all of the later phases. But if I don't decide on a topic, record the video, publish the video, none of the work matters because it's just sitting there half started or unfinished in my workload. And so that's why I like to pick the outcome for the week and the 2 or 3 must do's, because that keeps you on track and prevents you from procrastinating, working on other smaller things. And then I move on to the daily split. I borrowed this idea from Bob Proctor. I think I saw it, or I listened to it actually in one of the audiobooks. I think it's absolutely great. So all you do is you map out your week, Monday to Sunday or Monday to Friday, whatever your working week looks like. And for every day, you split it in 2. For the first half of the day and the second half of the day, before lunch or after lunch. So if you're working Monday to Friday, we'll say 9 to 5, for example, you'll have 10 segments. And then you literally put in your priority for each segment based on the outcomes you've identified, based on the big wheel that we did earlier. So we're building here, and it's really nice because what you're going to do is you're going to have a priority for the first half of your day and the second half of your day to help you move forward to gain momentum without overwhelming you. And I really like this because life is going to come in. There are going to be lots of other small things that are going to come up. So this gives you that focus while also allowing the space. So it's absolutely lovely. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go into your calendar or your scheduler, whatever you use for planning your time, and you're going to block out some time to do that work. So for example, the first half of my day today, my priority was to record this video, and I put in a 1 hour block for recording this video at, let me check the time, at 12 o'clock to make sure that I absolutely did it. During my week, you're going to see that there's going to be time blocks throughout the day. It's not going to be the whole week at all, and I really caution against blocking out your whole week. It's just going to be time blocks put in throughout the day to help make sure that I follow through on these actions that I have identified. Once that's done, that's basically my week planned, and all I do for everything else is I just keep a running to-do list. I keep it on a notebook next to me, and as small things come up, I track them there, and if I have time to action it then, I will, and if I don't, I'll put it on the list for later on. But having that overarching outcome focus allows me to really move things forward every single week without getting overwhelmed, which for me is really, really important. And as I said, all of that takes no time at all. On a very complicated week where I might have a lot of different things happening, maybe some client work and this work and a lot of work at home, then yeah, it could take 20 minutes. Honestly, usually it takes me about 10. This process allows you to prioritize the most important things, and then you flex with the rest. If you want more ideas on what you should consider when you're creating your plan, check out the latest episode of the Better Workday podcast. I'm going to link it down below if you want to check that out, because it covers 7 different questions you want to ask yourself when you're looking at planning in general, and that looks at your planning style. And it's a really good way for you to think about how you approach the whole planning process, not only for the week. I'd love to know if you try this approach. I'd love to know what tool you try this with. So like me, are you going to do it on a piece of paper? Are you going to try Notion, Trello? Where are you trying this approach? I would love to know that. Please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.